Creamy, authentic, easy Fettuccine Alfredo here at Barbecue My Way. We know some pasta too. This is known as an Alfredo sauce, but in Italy it's a butter and cream sauce. The history of the Alfredo name came from the fact that it was originated or popularized by a restaurant in Rome by the name of Alfredo's. So it's easy, delicious, and let's get started. Alright, so I didn't have time tonight to make homemade pasta, so I'm using dried box pasta. Got the water boiling. I'm throwing in about a teaspoon of sea salt. And if I was doing fresh pasta, I'd probably start the sauce before I boil the pasta, because the pasta, when it's fresh, doesn't take any time at all. But this is 2 pounds total, so this is going to feed quite a crew of probably 5 or 6 people. And if that many people don't show up, we'll have leftovers, so there's nothing wrong with that. But we're going to get the pasta boiling. It's going to take a few minutes to get it to al dente, and in the meantime we're going to start on the sauce. So I can't show you that I'm draining the pasta now. It's been maybe 5-6 minutes. As I said, it's 2 pounds of pasta. In the meantime, we're starting up this other skillet, and we're going to put roughly a half a stick of butter, which is 4 tablespoons. Nobody said this was healthy. This is why I'm making it now, because Liz is out of town. So she probably would not let me make this if she was home. This is Maddie's, one of my daughter's favorite dishes. And I'll probably have a bite or two. That's about it. So we're going to let this melt. It's over medium heat. And then we have 2 cups of whole whipping cream. Not vitamin D milk, not skim milk, not 2%, not half and half, but whole whipping cream. So we're going to kind of bring this up a little bit to boil. Not to boil, but to melt. And we're not adding garlic to this. Garlic's delicious. I love garlic, not shallots. I'm making this the very traditional way. And the original recipes that I've seen for this recipe or for this sauce do not call for any sort of garlic. We're going to do salt, pepper, and nutmeg. And then, of course, Parmesan cheese. So we're going to bring this to a very low boil to kind of thicken it a little bit, and we'll be right back. All right, this has been on a very low simmer for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, excuse me, with occasional stirring. And now we're going to hit it with a little seasonings, which is fresh ground pepper, I'm guessing about a teaspoon of fresh ground pepper, and a little bit of salt. Not a lot of salt. You can always salt at the table, maybe a teaspoon of salt. And then what I think is probably the secret ingredient, which is fresh ground nutmeg. This is something I've seen in a number of the recipes, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon. Pretty powerful stuff, and it adds a really great deep flavor. So we're going to stir this around, see it thickening a bit. Just kind of taste a little bit here. It's very creamy. That nutmeg really adds a nice depth. I'm going to add just a little bit more salt, but not a lot, because we have not added the Parmesan cheese yet. And the pepper will release here in a little bit as it warms up. I'm going to add roughly, whoa, crumb. We're going to add a wooden spoon. About 1/3 of a cup, maybe roughly 1/3 of a cup of Parmesan cheese. Just to get that incorporated a little bit. It's really starting to thicken up now. And now we've got all this pasta that's cooked to al dente. Put this back in. Presentation needs a little work, but doing the best I can here since I'm by myself. So we're now going to kind of toss this a little bit. It's a lot of pasta, which is why I made a lot of sauce. You're going to see that this pasta really soaks it up. And ideally, I would have made homemade pasta, homemade fettuccine for this. I think it's a lot lighter, but this will be delicious. And it's a real simple dish, and it's really the fats and the buttery, the butteriness, the creaminess of it that really makes it just a special dish. You don't want to eat this every night, obviously. If you could and get away with it, you'd do it, or I would. Keep it warm nice and through. Keep tossing it, working it around. You can just tell a lot of that sauce is getting soaked up. So an Alfredo should not really be swimming in a sauce. It should really soak up the flavors. And now we're going to add another probably 2/3 of a cup. So maybe totally a cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm not going to toss that in so much, but I'm going to hit it with a little bit more pepper. Alright, it's ready to serve. Last thing I'm going to do is hit it with some fresh parsley, just to give a little bit of that kind of a fresh outdoor flavor. I'm going to sprinkle